Hello, trouble. Bother and trouble, trouble and bother. N5LAX. Where can I find me some mischief? Bumpity, bumpity, bump, boogity, boogity, boogity. Well, okay, there's a squirrel I can step on. Step on, G-Man. Lots of it. Lots and lots of hot air. Yeah, lots of it. Lots of stupidity. Give us more, G-Man. Give us more stupidity. Like they say in the Coneheads, you know, the mass quantities. I like it, mass quantities. Give us more stupidity, G-Man. So, I expect some of my friends to show up here pretty soon.
And trolling.
You know, you never hear me make a CQ call. I don't do that. Besides, this is ham radio. You can experiment and try new things.
Is that the leaf blower guy?
Advertise to my presence to my friends by making mass amounts of racket. That's my prerogative. They all are unidentified pirates. They can get their pennies all in a twist about it and make commentary of a imbecilic nature. And no skin off thy nose. I can just drip condescension and contempt onto their arrogance, onto their foreheads off the end of my nose. And that properly placed as the dirt beneath my feet. And they can get out there and yickety-yap about all their little quips and taunts. And it don't add up to nothing. It don't add up to a bunch of corpsmen, buttholes, unidentified, anonymous cowards. With the haughty presumption of offering advice to the legitimate stations out here. Making display of their imbecility. Which again, no skin off anybody's nose. The only people getting put at risk by doing so is themselves.
AA3JF live from Studio A.
After all, what they say is unimportant. It's the muttering of an imbecile. And not worth paying attention to. But you do pay attention.
Who is that? N5LAX out there broadcasting with that very, very weak signal?
Disposable and not worth any attention at all. What attention they get should be on what they're doing.
That's what I thought. I had to turn my squelch level down. I'm getting him about an S3. He's floating somewhere between an S1 and an S3 right now. I thought maybe he was just out there broadcasting.
What they do is of an imbecilic nature because they are imbeciles.
He comes up here and he just trolls. He he trolls for squirrels. He just gets on there and just starts blah, 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 yap, 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 yap. And then if one of the squirrels responds to him, he thinks he's stepping on them. But the truth of the matter is, every one of the damn squirrels up here can just stomp all over his ass. So all he does is create a bigger problem on the frequency. He is not a solution to it. As Laura Smith would tell him, and I'd pay $1,000 to see the expression on his face when she said it to him, you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. He comes up and he's got a little weak signal, about an S3. Sometimes he gets up to S5 up here. But he thinks he's stepping on the squirrels, and I swear the man must not own a mirror in the house. To sit up here and talk about condensate, it's just, it's crazy. It's just causes more problems than anything else. And the fact of the matter is, there's about a 22-minute recording. Somebody took time to put together a recording of him talking about, this is why I use my fan noise. Let's go up to 7.200 and let's step on squirrels. It's a beautiful recording of him explaining exactly what he's doing and why he's doing it. And I know that it's been sent to Laura Smith. So when he plays that fan noise, that spurs communications. And this is a phone band where the only thing that's supposed to come out of your microphone is voice and not fan noises, and that can get you an NAL. AA3JF live from Studio A. So anyway, if that's N5LAX out there, I'd have to turn my squelch down to hear him because he's just a little yapper out there. Yap, 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 yap. And 99.9% of the time, I'd say most people up here don't hear him unless you keep your squelch level way down at the bottom, because the only way you're going to hear him.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, Jamie. Brad blows me out of my chair, and if we decide to talk with each other, it ain't nothing anyway.
The squirrel is biting.
Nobody know how. Now, if you want to, you can have a conversation over there with somebody close to you.
And that squirrel's out there. While flipping and a flopping. I'm stepping on squirrels.
The law of physics, nice squared law and all that, where it comes to radio signals.
Yep. I'm N5LAX. I'm stepping on squirrels. Yep.
His old mouth's just running like a whippoorwill's ass.
Yakking over here, you could be yakking over there.
Okay.
If there's been squirrels to the back seat of the bus, that would be a good thing to do, I'd say. Anyway, after that coffee, N5LAX.
Well, there's where you're wrong about the use of the ham bands, N5LAX, but I wouldn't expect you to understand the proper operation of ham. You're one of them, what we call Part 97 operators. Oh, you might know Part 97. You might know where every period, every comma, every semicolon, every colon, every apostrophe is in Part 97. But knowing Part 97 doesn't make you a good ham operator. That's why you're in fights with the people every single day that you're on the radio, because you're just a Part 97 operator.
There's not a single operator on this frequency who abides by Part 97.
Does that include you too, Chris?
I said there's not a single operator on this frequency who has abided by Part 97.
All right. Okay. All right. KI and
Brad over there just comes on the frequency when it's in use. So there you go. They want to talk about, Part 97, Part 97. But they don't even abide by it by themselves. They don't even understand good operation of a ham station. Yes, they're just wonderful, wonderful ham operators out there. We should all bow down and drink the N5LAX Kool-Aid.
KK4SIJ. Well, Rain Man and Brother Bradley, they're just two peas in a pod.
Oh, they believe this. Well, I was here first. Well, if I was here first, now it is in Part 97, I was here first. But if you believe that I was here first is the golden rule, then why does the ARRL list over 400 separate nets? Because those nets couldn't be there if all we went by was, I was here first. Because those nets couldn't be there on those assigned frequencies, on those assigned date and times. Yes, Brad, even the net that you go to, and I'm glad you go to it, your Bible net there, it couldn't be there if everybody went by strictly, I was here first, because somebody would get on the frequency, and then that net couldn't be there. So it's not, like I said, if you're just a Part 97 operator, it shows really fast. There's a thing that, we have this courtesy out here, this long-standing tradition of a group of people meet on a frequency on a daily basis, and it's just kind of said, well, they're always there, so we'll let them have that frequency for that part of the day, because they're always there. I've got a group that does it on Friday nights. So, like I said, if you're just a Part 97 operator, I was here first. That's the way it is. AA3JF, live from Studio A.
Well, I tell you.
Welcome to the I was here first net. Now taking check-in.
I went down, I've been up on 3860 trying to get away from some of that rubbish that goes on, and went back down there this morning, keyed up, and another friend of mine was talking, and that cream that comes in there.
Yeah, there's Brad out there. The frequency was in use, and he just keys up and starts talking. But, everybody knows that the game of N5LAX and KG5LSC is to come up here and disrupt this frequency. But boy, do they get their panties in a wad. Oh, my gosh, do they get their panties in a wad when somebody goes down to 3822 and does that to them. Oh, it's Part 97. Oh, we're recording 24/7.
I'm going to turn over a new leaf on that.
The exact same thing that they complain about on 3822. Imagine that, the mentality of a bunch of idiots. Oh, it's just steaming out of their heads. AA3JF live from Studio A.
You're right, but Studio A sounds kind of silly.
Well, see, I've got a Studio B. It's just all part of a joke. I've got another station at my office, and I call that Studio B, and I guess I could call my vehicle Studio C, but it's just humor, just trying to put a little humor in there. AA3JF, live from Studio A. High on life, buddy, high on life.
Mexican, Arab, and all kinds of different things. And I hate it.
See, N5LAX and KG5LSC, knowing that this frequency is used by geographically the Northeast, they could go to, 7203, 7205, 07 or something, and set up shop there. But they don't want to do it because they know nobody would come there and listen to them. So they try to come here and purposely disrupt the frequency. And the only people that abide by it are the good operators, because, you hear somebody out there, they're way out there in the distance, and you say, well, okay, I'll let that frequency go. I'll let them have their QSO. But they don't come in here and have a QSO. They come in here and have an all day. See, that's another part of it. If you're just a Part 97 operator, you don't understand. You use the frequency for a little bit, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, have your QSO, and you back out. I would just suggest to N5LAX and KG5LSC, if they just counted the number of available frequencies here on 40 meters in the phone band. Now, don't forget, you can't start at 7.125. You got to start at 7.128 because, you know, you might bleed over, so you got to start there and go from there to 7.297. You can't use 298, 299, or 300. Again, that 3 kilohertz space. Count up the frequencies. Oh, wait a minute. Now you got to take and divide that by 3 to figure out how many usable bands or frequencies are on 40 meters. And you'll find out, and I'm not a mathematician, but I think it's somewhere about 52 frequencies. There's about 52 frequencies in the phone band available on 40 meters. Could you imagine if we had, let's see, we got K1LEM that comes out here and goes blah, 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 blah. You got N5LAX, and you got KD8IUU. That's 3. All you need is about 50 more, and nobody could use 40 meters because these people get on here and just all day. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Before you do the bare white thing, they just pretty easy to do. You just twist that knob like that, and it gets right around there. And then all that noise goes away. But
yes, live from Studio A, AA3JF.
you know, it's got no control content. It's got no control content. It's aggravating. It sounds normal.
Well, that's what they're doing. There's a recording. It's about 22 minutes long, and it's all of LAX and his voice explaining exactly what his intentions are and trying to recruit other people from 3822 to come up here with him and play it out. And you listen to him when he gets up here. He talks about stepping on squirrels. Every one of the squirrels up here, when they key up, can absolutely just wipe his signal out. He's not stepping on squirrels. He's geographically not close enough, and there is not an amp. I don't care if he had a Henry K, 8K. He couldn't step on the squirrels up here. It wouldn't do it.
Snide remarks get thrown in there, commenting around it.
No, if somebody took time to listen to his talking on 3822, and it's just, you know, it's him explaining. If you listen to the whole thing, he explains in his own words, his own voice, what he's doing and why he's doing it here on 7200. Now, in that 22-minute recording, there's also examples when he leaves here and goes down, he says, well, it's time to go downstairs. Well, when he goes downstairs, he doesn't start off with, is there frequency in use? Is there frequency in use? Oh, no. He goes down there and just starts talking. So there's an example of a couple weeks ago, I think it was, when Kentucky was having their QSO party. There was a station on 3824 and 3821. There was 2 Kentucky stations participating in the QSO party. Well, he goes down there on 3822 and runs the 2 of them off. There's also an example of he gets down there on 3822 and you hear 2 Spanish-speaking stations going back and forth, and somebody in English says to him, hey, that's a transmission between New York and Puerto Rico. It's an emergency. They're passing emergency traffic between New York and Puerto Rico. Now, does he just shut up and keep his mouth shut and let them do what they're doing? Oh, no. He gets on there and like, they won't last long. The propagation and change is probably not real anyway. Instead of just shutting up, because he doesn't speak Spanish, so he has no idea whether that's real or imaginary. But, you know, rather than do the right thing and let them pass their traffic, he interrupts it.
My son made me a big old honking brake map that I could
I'm not in here. Because the brain's got to get some rest, our body has to have some sleep. Here's some people, they just get, oh golly, like I'm in here 7 days a week, 365.
It is, and he'd get upset if somebody went to his Bible net. And that's the thing, I have no problem. I found Jesus in my life, and I go to church on Wednesday nights and go on Sundays, but I don't get out here and talk about it. But there are, I think on the ARRL website under nets, I think I counted up something like 24 or so, Christian or religious nets that you can go to. Now, wouldn't he be really perturbed if the squirrels were to go to the one that he goes to there on 7263, I believe it is, at the time that they're having their net, and squirrel their net, he'd be upset about it. But here he sits and does the same very thing. It does the same thing right here on 7200, and they do it on purpose.
They key up on anything there, any little quip that gets them. When you saw the deal about the box and the box should do.
Oh, it's like I said, I would give a month's pay. I would bet a month's pay that if N5LAX were actually to talk to Laura Smith, she would use that famous phrase of hers that she always used. She'd look at him square in the eye and say, LAX or Rain Man, you are part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. And I'd pay $1,000. I'd actually pay $1,000 to see the expression on his face when she told it to him, because he would be absolutely floored. Just ego would be deflated. No, not that I know of. Like I said, I'd bet a month's pay that she would tell him that. I know the recording has been sent to the FCC. I can't tell you whether she's listened to it or not, but I know that recording has been sent to the FCC.
KG5LSC.
And that fan noise, she would actually inform him that I can't pronounce the word, communications. The only thing that's supposed to come out of your microphone on the phone band is your human voice, not music, not fan noises. Anything other than that is an illegal transmission. And she would advise me again. And in the recording, he explains, well, that's my fan, and I turn that on. And the reason I do that is to keep people from these squirrels from coming in here and slipping a word in between my words, because, he talks and he takes these long, drawn-out, supposed intellectual thought processes that requires long periods of silence between my words.
It makes good sense now, it really does. Never really paid the man a lot of mind. I just assumed that he was just microphone close to his amplifier, but no, I understand. I do. I get it. So the fan doesn't come from his amplifier. It's just outside device somewhere or whatever, blowing a damn wind into his microphone just so he can keep a carrier going.
Exactly. And see, some people try to be so damn smart. They outsmart themselves. And he has sat there, and this is not a recording made in one night. This is a recording made over many, many nights. But somebody took the time to put it all together. I imagine maybe they record all the time. I don't know how they did it. But they put it together, and just with the pieces put together, it's like putting together a puzzle. You can see exactly what N5LAX is trying to do here on 7200. AA3JF live from Studio A.
Yeah, he's getting everybody from coast to coast.
Alrighty then. KK4SIJ. N5LAX, is that you?
Is he still out there? See, if you're not an S5, now here's one of Raymond's things. He says that he keeps his, squelch level, RF level, whatever you want to call it, at two above the noise floor. Well, if I did that, well, no, because I really don't have much of a noise floor here, but I keep mine on S5. If you're not an S5 or better, I don't hear you. And the only reason I do that is because if you're not an S5 or better, we can't hold a QSO. It's not going to happen, especially here on 7200. I call this like the card net here. If you don't have at least two pair or, three of a kind, if you don't have a kilowatt and you want to come on 7200 and have a QSO, you better be geographically located in the exact right spot or it ain't going to happen.
Nothing changed. Just got caught. Ain't new leaves. It's just new angle.
N5LAX is Is what Jamie's saying about you true, especially with the fan over?
We got better stuff to be concerned with. Higher ground there, brother.
Oh, first let's take a pause for the power transmission of the Lord.
Oh, I'm so bad. The conspiracy theory.
Oh, now there's a conspiracy on the frequency?
We have a conspiracy on the frequency? Well, somebody will have to tune me in, because if it's N5LAX talking, I'm not hearing them.
LAX is stating there's a conspiracy taking place on 7200.
Well, maybe he should leave. Maybe he should leave if he's worried about a conspiracy. You know, I don't care what he thinks. I don't listen to the man. It's hard to call him a man, but I don't listen to him. I know what he's doing. He's doing it on purpose. He's not part of the solution. He's part of the problem. You listen to him when he first comes on the frequency up here. He goes, starts just saying little things, making noises, saying little things, trying his damnedest to see if there's a squirrel out there. And then if Haney or one of them responds to him, he goes, oh, look at that, there's a squirrel, flipping and a flopping, blah, blah, blah. No, some of his favorite phrases, because he's a great psychologist. He's the great psychologist. They have no self-awareness. They have no self-awareness. You know how many times I heard that man say they have no self-awareness? Enough times to make me puke, and like I said, I put mine on S5, and he's not even going to get an S5 signal here with where I'm at. He's not going to do it, so I don't have to listen to him no more.
We're going to let go and forgive. Get some kind of blessing from above. Well, I know I need blessings from above.
Sir, if you're going to come in here with your comments, you got to give your call sign.
To you too. And, it's a beautiful day.
There's a write-up on KG5LSC on QRZ. I got an idea who started it, but it's about his 777 days. Man, I tell you what, these two are real winners.
Well, I've learned firsthand there. The two of these come out here and they just tie up airtime for hours on end. Is all the thing they're doing. They're not really talking about nothing. They're just exchanging totally useless information back and forth to one another just to tie up the airtime here.
That's their goal. That's their whole stated reason to come up here, is try to tie it up and in their words, step on squirrels. And geographically, there's no squirrels close enough to them for them to step on. Now, when they get down to 3822, Lord knows why Haney and some of the other ones go down there to 3822 and try to disrupt their conversations, because they're not going to do it. Geographically, they're not going to do it. It'd be like me going down to 3822 trying to disrupt them. Hell, I wouldn't stand a chance. I'd be wasting my electricity. But they go down there. So this is a payback. This coming up here, tying up the frequency all day, is how they want to pay it back. So they want to disrupt us. The people are regularly out here day in and day out because of a couple idiots that go down there on 3822. The only people that Raymond really affects up here is K9RSY and Joe Italiano. Was it AC1DD? They're probably the only two regular operators on this frequency that Raymond can actually get in their ear and, maybe cover one of us up. If we're talking to K9RSY, or if we were to fall on our head and talk to AC1DD, that's the only two people geographically in an area where Raymond would have any effect in disrupting their conversation. But the rest of it is just to come up here and try to stop good operators from having a QSO, because they're going to try to squish out the squirrels that and they have no effect. I hate to say it, but every one of the squirrels I've heard up here, every one of them, when they key up, they drown out N5LAX. They're absolutely doing nothing up here but adding to the problem.
I heard
from Studio A
about all of his little buddies from down there on 80 meters trying to recruit them all to come up here. You said something about a YouTube video about their intentions?
I don't know about a YouTube video. I know on QRZ there's a thing. If you go to YouTube and put in N5LAX, there's several. I don't know how many. It's just not worth me going over there looking at them or listening to them. But I know he's got some recordings over there that somebody's made of him. But, you know, it's just asinine. It's just totally against good amateur operator experience in the way it's supposed to be done. They're doing it on purpose, and like I said, you can listen to him on 3822, and they actually talk about it, and he's down there actively recruiting, trying to recruit people to come here to 40 meters. Because just the other night, I was listening on an SDR station. That's the only way I can hear him is listening on an SDR. And he was sitting there telling a new guy that was in there, oh, yeah, we're here every night, and during the daytime, we go to 40 meters, 7.200. We go to 40 meters and talk up there. Trying to recruit more people in here to have to be able to talk to so that he can stay keyed down all day. Yak, 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 yak. Blah, 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 blah. AA3JF, live from Studio A.
KK4SIJ.
You know, that's the one that, you know, we're covering that thing down there at night. Chapter 18.
Only people who play tones like that across the radio are people who have radios that don't have a notch filter. Because if you had a notch filter on your radio, you wouldn't waste your time doing that, because nobody that has a notch filter hears that.
They're so predictable.
Yeah, the wild speculations, too. I find that entertaining, too. They get into this narrative mode and they don't know how to use their notch filter. They have no clue, but they love the narrative. They're all about the narrative. Spin a yarn, fairy tale, rationalization, yada, yada, yada. I send my friends over there to YouTube. Some of them, not all of them have ham radio licenses. They're just people on the internet, you know, selling nerds. They say, well, you got recordings of me out there on YouTube. You can go listen to them. I tell them, put in this call sign, pull them up, and then they go and listen to them. Yeah, how you doing there, Water Two?
I don't even waste time looking at it. It's boring, man. Just boring. Boring. One see kids, pitch fit, 2-year-old, pitching temper tantrum. I guess I'd go visit my niece with her toddler and all that kind of stuff. But I don't, you know, I watched enough of that raising up my own Roger.
Well, he's got Todd down there. You know, you got what I call the LAX Kool-Aid. Now, Brad, he has drank the whole cup of Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah.
But poor old Raymond, he can't get Todd to drink the whole cup of Kool-Aid. Because every once in a while, Todd bucks up. And then old Raymond, he gets in there and gives him a tongue lashing to get him back in line. Raymond can't get Todd to drink the whole cup of Kool-Aid yet. AA3JF, live from Studio A.
I think it was AA3JF. Man, I'm so appreciative you have handled this to the team. Thank you, and you have a Merry Christmas. N5LAX KK4SIJ.
Howdy, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Is it true what AA3JF is saying about you over?
I don't really know. I wasn't paying a whole lot of mind. I don't know. Whatever these Nader Wells come up with is really not paying a lot of attention to. He sounded like he had his tinfoil hat on, and he was doing some theorizing about this and that. But, yeah, I don't really pay much mind to it.
Well, he was claiming that you were recruiting other operators to come up here and occupy 7,200 from 75 meters.
That's true. I heard that myself, SIJ. It's true.
To do that, even if we were to try such a silly thing.
They do that.
You know, imagine over there where you are, my signal.
On 3822, I heard it myself.
Not that big coming this way. Imagine mine is just as weak over there where you are. I don't think that it would be technically feasible to even do such a thing.
Roger, Roger. There's another comment was about the fan that there's always a fan in your audio, and I've been led to believe that you run the fan so you can constantly transmit a carrier so nobody tries to get in between your words. Is that true?
I like to run a desk mic, and it's a lot of noisy in here, and it does get a lot of fan racket in there when I got my mic on the desk. I could get up there and turn it down and eat it and kind of get away with it, but yeah, amplifier make a lot of noise, and so I guess that would be a benefit if it was something way off, way far off, trying to get in amongst us over here. I guess it would have that effect. Others have said that it kind of has that effect, but you know, it's incidental, so I don't really.
Well, we got a jammer in there now. Somebody's jamming with some music.
See why I said you can't have a QSO with Texas there, KG5 or KK4SIJ?
I wanted to ask him about the squirrels, but I'm getting jammed.
Well, he's already lied to you, so just keep on trying. He'll lie some more. Like I said, it's been recorded, him explaining his fan noise and what he's trying to do.
LAX, can you tell us about this squirrel problem you're having? N5LAX, can you tell me about the squirrels? Over.
Signal can't cover up anything over there. I don't think my fan noise can cover up anything any more than my voice can. So it's a possibility, it's an absurd proposition, really.
Can you tell me about the squirrels, LAX?
No, don't really pay much attention to the squirrels. I don't know who is who and what is what.
Well, that's true.
It's become known to us. I know what they sound like, and I can say, oh yeah, that's this particular one. Don't know much about them, or it sounds like this. Oh, that's that particular one. Don't know much about them.
He made up a whole YouTube video saying that I was Renee. He's full of shit.
Well, tell me, I need some more detail about these squirrels. I hear a lot about squirrels and taking out squirrels and stepping on squirrels. I mean, it makes me think that you got a lot of squirrels around your house. Ever?
He ain't even listened to you. It's like talking to K1LEM. He doesn't unkey long enough for you to have a conversation with him.
He made a video on a squirrel claiming I was Renee, but he doesn't pay much mind. But he's got the time to make an edited video.
I just don't really understand. I know very little about the I think think I know. I think your name is Chris. I believe SIJ. So I believe I know your name is Chris. It's not very often that I can hear you here because usually there's so noise.
Because he's usually keyed down.
Probably because he won't stop talking long enough to hear any other station.
I absolutely agree with you.
Do you have, at LEX, do you have LSC's phone number?
Yeah, I got his phone number, yeah.
You guys should talk on the phone sometime so we can have the frequency available for other amateur use.
Yeah. There's an application called Zello if you got one of those fancy smartphones. And Zello or something kind of acts just like a radio.
Yeah. Y'all guys can FaceTime each other.
They even have a CB app.
Actually, it'd be kind of neat to send them a text once in a while. And so we all got telephones. And yet, even though we all got telephones, we're out here on the radio despite the fact that we have telephones. So you wouldn't, if communication alone was a goal, well, I guess we wouldn't need these radios because we all got telephones. But we still out here on the radio despite the fact that we all got telephones. Yep, we got that going on. I mean, imagine that you yourself do have a telephone.
Yeah. Well, I'm only asking because I just happen to notice that you and KG5LSC, you guys will just talk to one another for it seemed like hours at a time, and I don't really think you're exercising very good amateur practice. I mean, the kind of excuse those you guys have is something that should be had over a telephone. Over.
Well, what you consider good amateur practice is of really no interest to us.
Oh, no shit.
Sometimes get the conversation for lengthy periods of time, and then other people come along to join in the conversation. If they can get above the squirrels, we enjoy that happening.
Here we are back on the squirrels.
People do elsewhere on the ham bands everywhere else. But as far as what you consider good amateur practice is really of no concern to us.
No, good amateur practice is of no concern to you guys. That's right. You hit the nail on the head. Good amateur practice is of no concern to you. Over. No, you said it right.
It's like talking to KG1 or dipshit fat boy over there in South Carolina. They don't unkey long enough to have a QSO with them.
They're doing really good.
KK4SIJ.
You can get out here, experiment, and be different. That's what it's about. And really, what your opinion is about what other people do.
He's going to tell you it doesn't matter. He doesn't care about his fellow amateur radio operators. That's the point. He has no respect for his peers.
They just got done spending an hour talking about everybody else. They look down your nose, talk about everybody else like they're so perfect and they're high and mighty. It kind of reminds me of the two old men in the Muppet Show. They're up there on the balcony. Only difference is they're not funny, whereas the two old Muppets can be funny at times. AA3JF live from Studio A.
Roger.
You're welcome to your opinion.
But his opinion happens to be right.
Well, these aren't opinions, okay? They're not opinions, suspicions, or assumptions. They're facts. These are facts.
Comment about the imbecilic behavior, with those that...
See, everybody's imbecilic, and nobody has, no self-awareness. They're the only two ham operators in the entire world that have self-awareness and that are not imbecilic.
I even exercise better amateur radio practices.
Corman for the past several months and not using.
Oh, now here's Bradley.
We got caught and then, we make believe like we turn over a new leaf, but still eat up with bitterness and resentment only because we got caught.
Oh, you're so bitter out there.
Yeah, it's these ones that think I was corming them for the last, 6 months and all. When in fact I've been out here for over 2 years using my call sign. The whole thing
That's
it's
a
a funny thing that they all claim it right around, what was that, the second week in November? What happened the first week in November? Oh, I got an amplificator to where I could be heard finally. Oh, yeah, I was farming then. I've been out here for 2 years using my call sign.
Even though they just told you you can't call them from the other side of the country, they contradicted themselves.
Yeah, well, they would have never heard me. That's the point. Until I got this amplificator, they'd have never heard me.
They just said they wouldn't even hear the big station with an amplifier from the East Coast couldn't bother them.
Yeah, so they drown their own reasoning with their own stupidity. Like I said, they just spent an hour talking about everybody else like they're all high and mighty. And they're perfect operators. They're just Part 97 operators, all they are. AA3JF live from Studio A.
I'm going to enjoy it.
I think you're absolutely right.
The rules aren't hard to follow, though. You know, like right here, KG5LSC for ID.
What else would it be for?
A lot of malicious interference goes on when we get.
Wow. Sorry there, N5LAX. I couldn't have a QSO with you. Brother Bradley is interfering with our conversation.
Yeah, Bradley's causing malicious interference. I'm sorry you couldn't finish your QSO, Chris. That's just not right.
N5LAX, I was just trying to better understand the situation here because there's a whole lot of accusations flying around out here this morning about N5LAX, and I'm just trying to receive some clarification around these matters.
We're going to lean back and listen to the radio graffiti. N5LAX.
Bradley, why did you interfere with SIJ when he was trying to talk to LAX? That was very rude and malicious interference.
Yeah, LAX, I was trying to get some clarification around these accusations towards you, over.
I don't care about their pusillanimous accusations. There's a lot of fruitcakes.
Well, then they must be true.
It's not my job to
well, the smoke, the fire.
They don't have to watch over themselves.
So you're saying that it's not true?
Well, I'm not saying anything about them.
I shall neither confirm nor deny.
No interest to us, really.
Okay.
Maybe
he knows better than deny it because it's all on recording.
It's all on recording. It's hours and hours of it on YouTube. They put it up themselves.
Sticking their nose up other people's backsides, where they don't belong. I mean, certainly, you've come across others that.
I question, does he belong here?
I'm sure you've run into that before.
I couldn't hear you. There was some jamming on the frequency. Try again, over.
What he basically said is he doesn't care what anybody else thinks and that he'll do as he pleases. That's pretty much what he said.
What's your call sign? You're supposed to give that every once in a while.
That depends where you live, stupid.
You don't have a call sign. No more talkie. I can't talk to unlicensed pirate stations, so no call sign, no talkie.
Well, I can't.
Who are you talking to?
To cause interference on the frequency with deliberate intentions.
Who are you talking to? I have identified.
Well, I haven't heard one, and if I don't hear one...
KK4SIJ.
As far as I know, you may be an unlicensed pirate, so I actually have to hear one.
How do you think you're a pirate if you already identified?
You gotta unkey to hear somebody's call sign. AA3JF live from Studio A.
Well, I'm doing my part, LAX. Whether or not you heard it, no issue at all, but I've been identifying every 10 minutes.
Well, he hasn't identified to me as a legitimate station.
I don't have to identify to you. I'm identifying for the sake of the FCC. I'm doing my part. I haven't heard LAX identify in probably 20 minutes.
Chris, you're not drinking the LAX Kool-Aid. You're just not drinking the LAX Kool-Aid.
I don't know everybody's voices. There's a lot of anonymous jammers out there, and pirates.
Pirates, arr, matey.
I'm trying to figure out who these unidentified pirates are. Chris, I've heard you identify. I've identified. Do you hear unidentified pirates out there?
I hear one talking now out of Texas.
I don't hear LAX talking. Like I said, if you're not S5 or better, you just don't make it in here to this station.
Well, I don't know, LAX. I mean, there's a whole lot of accusations going towards you out here, and there's a couple of YouTube videos, and I've noticed that you will neither confirm nor deny. So that just proves to me suspicions towards you be accurate. Over.
Phone number, it works both ways.
Oh, never. Now we got Bradley. Sorry.
On his little phone, talk to whoever else he wanted to. That kind of works both ways, doesn't it now, Brother Raymond?
Are you guys related?
Long enough between the two of them to let you say a word. That's how they want to box you out and not talk to you. They want to talk down to you. They want to talk about you. They don't talk with you.
They blame the rest of the planet for their own poor condition, and they're all about the accusation and blaming others for their own misfortune.
We hear it all the time.
It'd be kind of foolish to get all the
KK4SIJ once again.
Born of idiots. That would not be normal. Well, if you got twisted up by that, you'd spend.
Oh yes, the no self-awareness routine. Here we go.
KG5LSC, you're interfering with my QSO with N5LAX.
That guy's insane, isn't he?
I was trying to have a conversation with LAX there, Brother Bradley. You interfered, over.
Thorazine IV would be appropriate.
Now that's special. A man that comes out here and talks about the medications he takes, the narcotics he takes for pain relief, wants to tell some other station that they're on drugs. Oh, you just can't make this shit up. AA3JF live from Studio A.
Well, that's what happens when you're high.
Hopefully they'll never end up in that situation.
Hey, Rain Man, why does Bradley keep calling you his brother? Are you guys related?
He drank the Kool-Aid.
He drank the Kool-Aid. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, Bradley. Induce vomiting immediately.
It's too late for Brad. He's already drank the full glass of Kool-Aid. The only one that Raymond don't have fully drinking the Kool-Aid yet is that boy Todd. Every once in a while, Todd gets out there and gets a little wild, and Raymond has to give him a tongue lashing to kind of bring him back in.
If they want to go out and destroy themselves.
So yes, SIJ, you haven't been out here during the week listening to this like we have. There was a guy coming here the other day, and there's a recording of it. I'm sure it'll get played about the fan, and the fan is I think they said it was his ass fan or pussy fan. They had to keep him, what he sits on, try to keep it cool.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, I have other responsibilities and interests that don't allow allow me to come out here, all day, every day like these two guys. So I guess I do miss out.
Well, the thing is, they broadcast all night, and then they get up. They take about a 3, maybe 4-hour break, and then they come here to 40 meters and broadcast all day, and then they go back down and broadcast all night. So, yeah, like I said, it's done intentionally. It's done on purpose. There's a recording of it. It's been sent to the FCC, and he's fully explaining what he's doing and why he's doing it. And to sit there and say that his fan is just something that might happen, well, that would have been a good story, and he could have stuck to it, except for the fact that he actually got on the radio and explained why he does the fan, and that its intent is to keep people from coming in there and saying things between his words. And like I said, he was talking like this, only slower. And he proved his own point. Like I said, he could have used that excuse, and maybe the FCC would have bought into it. But when your own voice is sitting there explaining what you're doing, it kind of blows it out of the water. AA3JF, live from Studio A.
Wants to get free of it. Other than that, just let them destroy themselves.
Let them destroy themselves, he says.
Well, like I said, you're out here talking to me, and we're identifying, and we're destroying ourselves. Like I said, this is his condescension, just talking down the nose. It's like the two old Muppets up there in the movie theater, up there in the balcony. The only difference is they're funny. He's stupid.
Well, typical TV channel as usual. Here we go.
Worthy of a response.
Yeah, LAX has a condition. It's called it's a mental
turn down the squelch for a while to listen to
he doesn't like it to be told, but I'll
and then I turned it back up. So that's what it is. When I don't want to listen to your psychobabble, I just turn it up and put it at S5 where it normally sits at.
He is a talkaholic. He's masturbating through his mouth rather than through his other hands.
Has a whole lot in common with N5LAX and KG5LSC when it comes to K1LEM and KB2MZ or KB3MZQ. You'll see a striking resemblance between all four parties involved.
This is LAX. This is the man you're talking to.
Well, there's another one out there. And my God, that guy can sit down and just babble along forever as well, but he doesn't come here that often. You usually pick him up on 7.1 or 7.19. I'm not saying he's a bad person, but my God, just oh man.
Right to his, what is it, to the west, is it, Raymond? That big old trailer park there that you're part of, but you're out in the woods a little bit.
Does LAX live in a trailer?
If you want a diagnosis of psychobabble, he's a narcissist. He loves himself, and he's masturbating through his mouth rather than his penis.
It's not worth me
and this is all he does all day, sits there and masturbates and listens to himself. He's probably got 2 SDRs that are on, listening to himself masturbate and drooling. And when he gets done here, he goes up to 3822. Isn't it, Raymond? Isn't that where you hang out now, 3822, and masturbate again all night? I mean, it's just this total masturbation thing with his mouth. He's a narcissist, a total and complete narcissist. He's a nobody, really, living in a 1978 trailer on 10 acres of land way out in the boonies with a trailer park as your backyard. Is the trailer park to the backyard there, Raymond? I can't quite tell, but there's a big one there. 10th Street, 15th Street. They're all trailer homes. Yeah.
What a mess.
If you go out that street, you're going to find broken down old trucks, old parts, probably horse carcasses. Who the hell knows? This is no individual you want to talk to. This is Raymond Moyers. He is a mental patient. He's a oral masturbator. And what I mean by that is don't get any ideas it has anything sexual here. He masturbates through his mouth by talking incessantly, constantly, and totally. A masturbator. That's what Raymond Moyers, a oral masturbator. Total, sociopath in a way, I guess. living in an isolated place, way out in a trailer, on a back road in uncanny Texas, and masturbating through his mouth every day with his microphone. His entire life, friends. If you don't believe it, when he's
I
done
live in
here,
the perfect place.
I can't
hear N2FUV and I can't hear K1LEM. I have to go, get on the computer to listen to either one of those two, and most times it's just not worth it. AA3JF live from Studio A.
Seriously. I know, it's a mental condition, isn't it, Raymond? It's a mental state you've got, old boy, and you really need mental help. You need help from the Texas Department of Mental Health, and it could very well be you already are getting some. We know you're getting assistance to live out there by yourself. But what your exact diagnosis is, I'm not at liberty to say here. But you're an oral masturbator. You love to hear yourself talk. You honestly think you have something to say that's important, and you go on and on and on and on. And just as Chrissy said, you have no idea of what it is you're doing, nor do you care, because you're a sociopath. You're an arrogant sociopath. You don't care. It's all about you, Raymond, isn't it? It's all about you and your mouth, and how much you have to say that's so important. Raymond, you don't have one thing to say that's important. Let me say that, not one thing. It might be better that if you got in the bathtub, took a bath, put on a tie, a shirt, went outside, and, did something with yourself. Maybe made a little garden, I don't know. Clean up the place, clean up around the trailer. The horse trailer that is a horse trailer near you, isn't it, that I saw? Or where was I? Where's that wrong? Are there horses in there? I did see a horse trailer somewhere out there. Anyway, that's N5LAX, a very, very sad individual. And if you want a diagnosis from my end, he's depressed, but he's bipolar. And he can't stop talking because he's a narcissist. He loves to hear himself talk. He hasn't accomplished one goddamn thing in life. If he had, he wouldn't be living out alone in a trailer, way out back in the weeds, with other mobile homes all around, and stuff of that nature. Would he, if he were a true engineer or a true had accomplished anything? No. Raymond, you haven't accomplished anything. You are using amateur radio in a very perverse way as a substitute for your penis. And you shouldn't do that. You should see a doctor, and you should have medication for your talkativeness, which just goes on and on. You are an unbelievable narcissist. You love yourself so much, and you talk, thinking you're intelligent, and believing you have something to say that all the world wants to hear, and that's why you're on radio. Rather than babbling it out in your trailer to yourself or on the internet, no, you're on radio because you honestly think you have something to say that everybody wants to hear. Well, I've got to tell you something, Raymond, you don't. You don't. You're not intelligent. You don't have anything to say. You have a mental condition. A mental condition. It's bipolar. You're a narcissistic bipolar person. Get some medication for it. K1LEM said that, and I'm going to stick by what I said. K1LEM, over.
That would be the first time.
You definitely ought to stick it by
narcissistic bipolar man that can't shut up. He can't shut up because he has a mental condition. Can't you folks tell? He believes he has something intelligent to tell the world, and he goes on and 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 on. And yet, when you listen to him, what is the content of what he says? He really has anything important to say. Of course, he doesn't. Now, you have to feel sorry for him on another level because he's a social isolate. He has nobody in his life at all. I haven't even heard him mention a pet.
Yes, but is his frequency in use, sir?
Go to that level. If
Not really. You can go ahead.
Other than his mouth as his love object, he'd be talking
One
about Bobby or Kitty
complaining about
or
another
horses. Yeah,
broadcaster.
horses. He lives out there on a horse range or a horse
AA3JF live from Studio A.
And a horse trailer nearby. But I have never heard him talk about animals because he loves himself too much, don't you, Norman? You just can't. You just love the sound of your own voice. You can't shut up. It's a mental condition. I don't necessarily blame you for it. I just say that when Chrissy comes on here and says you're full of shit, I won't say you're full of shit. I think you ought to go see a psychiatrist. That's what I think. K1LEM.
What the heck is an ALC meter? I don't have a cotton picking clue.